What it do, y'all? You know what it is. It's your boy, man. Back in the building, the voice of the culture. Another episode, man. This episode for me is real personal. First of all, everybody, welcome to the Roundtable Podcast. Appreciate y'all for stopping through. Hope everybody had a blessed week, but I'm just going to jump right into it, man. I got my guy in the building. When I say my guy, this is my guy. And I say this with with passion because, believe it or not, you got some people that you may known for 20 plus years, but y'all not together every single day. But the love is just so official. This is my guy, man. I met this guy, man, when the rink was popping. Key word, rink was popping. A lot of y'all, the audience doesn't understand what the rink meant to me and this guy, but I'm going to just bring him to the table. My guy, Dre, man. Welcome to the Roundtable Podcast,
Thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate it. You know what it is? Man, listen, me and you, like you said, Shaw, this is real personal because we taking it back to the rink in Bergenfield. And now, let me just bring y'all up to date. You know, everybody got Branchwood. Shout out to Branchwood. Shout out to Rick Skate 22. But before there was those rinks, the rink in Bergenfield is where you got established. Like, if you was anybody from anybody, that's where you got started from. From skating to DJ Mario. Shout out to DJ Mario. Shout out to Bobby J. DJ SNS. Flex Tech tearing it down on a Tuesday night. If those nights you was there at the rink, you knew what was going down. We had Patterson there. We had Englewood. We had Teaneck. We had New York. We had everybody
Newark.
was in the barrel. Newark was there. They came through.
We had counties in that motherfucker.
Let's
be clear, it was counties.
It was to the point where
cities and boroughs.
If you didn't get there on time, you wasn't getting in. Point blank, the line was going up the hill, around the corner, around the back to where you had to get in. And the I'll tell y'all funny shit. So I used to live in Bergenfield when I first moved to Jersey. And
Foster Village where they had the hole at.
Hole in it. So I was still, like going to the Bronx because that's where I was from to go to Skate Key on, 138th Street. Shout out to Skate Key. And they was like, yo, Dre, where you live at in Jersey? And I'm like, yo, I live in Bergenfield. They was like, yo, what you doing coming here to skate when you got the rink across the street? And I was like, yo, Shy, real talk. I was like, y'all lying. So one day I went across the street and I saw this building and I was like, yo, what is this? And I went in there, never looked back. It was history from there. I met a lot of people there. I was there tonight, and most of y'all probably remember my boy Kendrick. Shout out to my boy Kendrick from the Bronx. He literally bought the vinyl record of Rex and Effects Rump Shaker to the rink. He bought it that night, and when he bought it, it was like, we was looking at this record like, yo, what is he about to play? He gave it to the DJ, and when he gave it to the DJ, and the beat dropped that horn, it was like, and it was like, boom, boom, boom. And then you heard Teddy come on like, all I want. Yo, they lost their mind that night, yo. I mean, it was crazy. And then it went into the whole Luke, I Want to Rock joint. Everybody was stopping in the middle of the skate floor. And you know what happened when that song came on.
Come on, we was on 8 wheels. We was on 8 wheels, joints was twerking then.
Right, we was doing it way back then. So shout out to all my skaters from way back. Shout out to all my skaters now. I love each and every one of y'all. And Shot, once again, I appreciate you having me on here today, man. So I'm an open book, I'm here to...
my man, I had to get you here because of 2 reasons, man. The relationship level is always respect. I see you doing a million things outside of, where we started from. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you, your family,
Thank you, I
grands,
appreciate
everybody growing, everybody's blossoming. But, man, you doing so much. I said, yo, when I started this, I wrote people's names down that I had to reach out. And... let's just be clear. I don't speak to my guy every single day.
We don't. But we know, like, when they make that phone call,
it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Dre, pull up. Yo, Shot, pull up.
I said, yo, I gotta have him on it just because of the essence of our relationship.
Right.
And like you said, for those that know us, that was around that whole era, that Tuesday, that Saturday, that Sunday. If it was Martin Luther King, it was Sunday night. Yo, what that place meant to us. Yeah, we met there. We built our relationship on that floor. And we wasn't on the side gambling, shooting dice, and playing $100 shots. We was on that floor.
We was skating.
We was skating. Let's be clear. Skating from the time we walked in there
until we left.
The time we walked out.
They had to kick us out at the end of the session. They was like, yo, come on, it's time to go. Nah, we waited till everybody left. and the last light went off, and then we would walk out. And the crazy part is, I lived right across the street. So I was good. I was a 5-minute walk home. Like, I didn't really care. Long as my moms knew where I was, she was like, all right, I'll see you when you get home. I lived literally, like, from here to the microphone. That's how close I lived to the rink.
And people don't even realize this about the rink. A lot of us was in high school.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I knew I was.
I was still in high school.
My mother told me straight up, if you ain't in this house by 12 o'clock, you can't get in. You know
Yeah.
what? Well, I'm not going to come home because I'm going to the rink. Nah, I'm just, people don't, I mean, for our fan base, to our core people, to the generation that was with me, the younger, that place is what y'all see y'all doing now. But it don't, and I'm going to say this too, it only cost $7.
Yeah, back then it was...
It was $7 to get in the rink. This is no bottles,
Yep.
no hookah. It was $7.
And if you needed skates, it was $3.
It was $10.
That's it.
And you had a concession stand. And
that was
it was niggas in there with probably 30,000 on them just to be in there, because the surrounding with the hype, the drug dealers, the rappers. God bless. I saw a lot of great I met a lot, but bro. That place, what it meant for you and I, it was a no-brainer when I started. I said, my man, because this is, come on, we literally formed a relationship from that
Absolutely.
place.
It was crazy because when I used to go there, I used to look at everybody, like one of my boys who I'm still in contact with now, his name is Lamont. Shout out to Lamont. Me, him, and Matt was there every older session when we wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
And that was because the owners always looked out for us.
Shout out to George, who owned the rink.
Oh,
I know
George.
him personally. What's up?
Let me tell you, George.
I used to leave my skates in the rink.
George, Steve, security, everybody be like, yo, Dre, just go ahead in, just...
Inglewood cops.
Oh, my God.
That was being security.
We know y'all. We know
y'all.
y'all.
You know what I mean? But shout out to George. He's the Boston George of Bergenfield.
Right.
Because what he opened up for us, it changed. Yo, I'm going to be honest, and let me know. The rink changed the game.
It did.
As teenagers. We saw legendary hustlers. We saw legendary rappers now. Some of them even going. I remember when I seen Pac in the ring. I know you was in there that night, because every night I was in there, you was in there.
Absolutely. I remember the night, and you probably was there that night, and everybody who knows this story remembers this story. I remember the night Naughty by Nature came.
Come on, man.
Tretch.
Shout out to Tretch, Vinny.
Shout out to Tretch and Vinny.
The whole team, man. Rowdy Rascals. My other man. Flavor Unit. My man from did the joint with, I forgot my man did the joint with Zane and them. Johnny. He did that. Yo, shout out to them. Yo.
Shout out to KG. Shout out to my man Ace from Patterson. Ace, we go way back.
Ace.
We need to get up here together.
We not gonna get into that, Ace. And when my man edit this, I'm sending this clip to your phone personally. But shout out to you and the Ill Town production team that's doing their thing right now. But I'm gonna let you continue, champ.
Let me tell you, that night when they played Hip Hop Array, SNS was not supposed to play it.
But what about the night when they broke OPP?
That was crazy. I
think that was top 5 classics that night.
That night, when they played OPP, it was like...
Vin bought it to...
Mario.
Exactly.
He bought it to Mario.
And said, shout out to Naughty by Nature, the Zoo Crew.
Right.
We got something new.
But it was supposed to... And then, after they dropped OPP, that album hit. But now, when they came back with Hip Hop Array in 92...
Right.
93, SNS got a hold of it.
First.
And they told us, yo, don't play it yet. We want to play it on the radio first.
Right, because let's be clear, OPP got broken in the ring, not on the radio.
Right. And he wanted the same thing to happen to Hip Hop Array. So, SNS from New York and Harlem, he don't really listen to nobody. He don't care. What does S do? Give it up for Naughty by Nature. I'm looking at him like this.
And we looking around like, what the fuck is this? And
like,
they said, the beat drops.
And then when they started doing the motion, and I was sitting there like this. Oh, shit, he got a banger. But then I looked at Tretch, who was sitting in between the concession stand where that little area is. He was sitting right there just looking like he had the machete in his back, like he just wanted to slice Essen up that night for playing the record early. But S didn't care.
Right.
S wanted to get a crowd popping. So we was like, yo, nah, we not doing that. We not doing that. I was like, man, nah, we good. We was like, oh, man. But that night.
That was an epic night.
That night. Shout out to Flex, because he always had us going on a Tuesday night for college night.
Come on, we not gonna talk about that. That's a whole. Let's be clear. If you was in high school,
You was there at college night.
but I'm gonna keep it a buck. It was a lot of brothers that wasn't in the rink. They moms and they fathers was not letting them.
Nah.
It come on home at 2:00 in the morning on a Tuesday.
I used to see some girls like, yo, you know you're not supposed to be here, right? And then they turn around like,
Man,
neither
listen,
are you.
Man, listen. My mother made it clear. If you're not in the house, well, I'm not gonna be home. And what I do, and I'm gonna keep it funky because this is just the essence of me as my childhood. I slept in the backyard some nights and knocked on the door the next morning and got ready to go to school.
See,
and everybody knew my crib. Knew I had the little house on the side with the couch and everything. So I'm not missing the rink. I don't care.
Yo,
that's what it meant to us.
Yo, it was nights. I remember I tell you a funny story.
Yeah, I climbed through my mother's windows, man, to get in the house. I used to call my sister, throw rocks at her window. Yo, let me in. I used to leave the window unlocked.
Wow. That's
and crazy. I'm keeping it a buck. And I walked home every night from the rink, and I rode my bike and left it in the bushes.
And didn't care.
At the Salvation Army in the bushes.
And didn't care.
And shout out to Porker, who used to ride with me too.
Porker. Yo, shout
James,
out to Porker.
God bless, and a couple of other cats.
Yes,
we
definitely.
used to troop it. And a lot of you females, I was in there fresh as a light bulb, and you didn't even know. Shout out to Coley, walking with me to home. Like, that's just what it did for us.
That's what it was.
We had to be there.
Yo, wait a minute. Shout out to my sister, Shawnee Kim. Rest in
Shawnee,
peace.
you playing.
Rest in peace to the sister. You know who we talking about. But, yo, them three, when it was Shawnee, Kim, and Light Skin.
Hold on. We going to give a moment of silence for our man, Brett.
Yes, rest in peace, Brett.
One of the GOATs on the floor.
Yo, let me tell you something about Brett. Brett, when he pulled up, and let me show you how Brett drove to the rink. This is how Brett drove to the rink. And no lie.
In the Acura Integra,
he was
aqua
all the way back. All the way back. His car could fit 4, but it was just 1.5.
And the skate set in the back.
Right. And he would just lean back till he got all the way to the rink, parked, and then he would get out throwing his skates. And he was one of the smooth, like, I see the young generation of skaters. I love y'all all. But the true essence comes back from where we were, Shy. These cats, y'all are doing all that stuff now. I respect y'all. I love y'all. I'm glad y'all taking the skate thing to the next level. But to some of us older skaters, I've known, listen, they've done things that wasn't even imaginable back then. Like, Brett used to slide on 2 wheels and hockey stop. Now, on 2 wheels and a hockey stop, it's damn near impossible. You break your neck. Brett just came out smooth, stopped, looked, and kept it pushing. He was the real sweetness, pause, but he was the real sweetness.
Facts.
Before sweetness.
That.
Before sweetness. Yes.
Facts, I give him that.
Before sweetness.
Shout out to my man Rodney Lattimore in there every week as well. It's so many people we can shout out.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy though.
I remember the first time I seen Jodeci performing there on Saturday night. They
yo.
had Mob Style in there.
My God.
Jodeci got booed because everybody wanted to see Mob Style and Whip Wop and them perform.
Yo.
And that was a Saturday night.
How y'all booed Jodeci? Y'all was rude back then.
They booed, but this is before Ever My Lady.
Right. How y'all booed Jodeci though? They was gonna come out eventually. Y'all didn't even give them a chance. Y'all was like, boo. We was like,
nah, they wanted to hear Mob Style. They wanted to hear A, Whip Wop, Gangsta Lou. Man, come on. They wanted to hear that gangster shit. Well, I'm back. They wanted to hear that.
All that. You right.
They didn't want to hear that.
But Jodeci had that shit on lock though. When they came in with the leathers, they came in with the hot leathers though.
They changed the game, and you know what? It's funny. I'm glad we up here today. This is a good one because it's funny. We saw Jodeci get booed. Then we seen Jodeci come back in their prime.
Yep.
And
tear it down.
Rip it down. No one booed them then when they had the box
not even
fades.
close. Not even close.
And them hot ass leather coats on that goddamn stage in there.
Girls were throwing t-shirts and everything on them. I was like this. Hey, I'm still skating. I'm still skating.
Right.
Nah, they ain't pay us no mind. Yo, the funny story how I got my nickname. So I don't know if everybody knows how I got my nickname MJ on skates.
Right.
So everybody knew I was a big MJ fan in my family. So me and my mom was the home at the night. They premiered Remember the Time video.
Right.
So me and my mom watched the whole video that Sunday night before skating. So I'm sitting there, you know, I'm into it. I'm sitting there
locked.
Like,
you ready to get on. You probably was in the house on 8 wheels.
I was like this. Oh, that shit is dope. So, and I watched the whole dance sequence. So I'm sitting there like, oh shit, Mike is killing it. So my mom was like, oh, I bet you can't do that on skates. is that a challenge, Mom? This is my mom challenging me. Shout out to my mom, Priscilla. She was...
Because she knew the love that you had, though.
She knew.
She respected.
She was
and
like
she
this.
was happy for that.
Right. She was like this. All right, so we went on a Sunday, and Bobby J was playing. And Mario was playing with him. Mario was like, yo, I got that new MJ that Remember the Time. So my mom was sitting with her friends at the time, Peggy, Kathy, and her Barbara and her was sitting all in the concession stand area. The four older ladies, the Golden Girls.
Right.
So they sitting there, and I hear the beat come on. I skated over real fast. I was like, Mom, here's your challenge. So I performed the whole song of Remember the Time, the exact thing he did in the video. That was my nickname ever since MJ. And that was the first time I ripped my wife beater off. And they was like this. They was like, Priscilla, get your son. And that stuck with me for the next 20 years of me skating. Everywhere I went, every skate party, anytime they played MJ, it was a rap. They knew to just clear the floor and let me do my thing.
But Dre ain't gonna front, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep this shit a buck. When that MJ shit came on, you throw that hand up. I said, yo, he out of here. He gone. He throw that hand up.
Yo.
And see, and I'm gonna say this too, for the skaters that know, back in the day when we skated, when it was time to rock, and this was no homo, we ain't have to do holes and no pause and that. Nigga tap you on your leg. Let's go, nigga.
Yeah, let's ride.
Yo, let's go. You like, oh, I gotta go.
Gotta go.
But when boy that MJ came on and that hand, I said he about to rip this shit down.
Crazy because that stuck with me for like 20 years plus. Till this day, that's my nickname.
But you did that though, and you
I
did it every night though.
Right, every night I did.
It didn't matter if it was 20 niggas in there or 2,000.
And
when that MJ came on, it's like the light just cleared up, and you had that space for some weird reason.
Yo, and before we move on, I just want to give a shout out to a couple of skaters like from my era that I appreciate. Aunt Sandy, all the Black Foxes who raised me in the original skate key on Allison Avenue, who kept me out of trouble. Uncle Eddie, Uncle Brian, everybody out there, all the skaters that from far and near, here and there, from the past to the future. I love all y'all. I love every skater because y'all all bring something different to the game. Even myself, I've evolved. I'm not as, fluent as I used to be. I'm a little bit older now, but listen, don't get it twisted. I still got work on them skates.
But
listen.
I think if the rink was still here, it'd be different.
I told you, let me get my hand on a grip of money. And I already told you, me and my boy, Dre Perrin.
Yeah.
We got to get this rink thing going. We
shout out to Dre too. He back on the skates. Yo, I gotta stop bullshitting and get on my shit. I'm playing. I ain't gonna front. I was nice.
You was with us.
But I ain't gonna front. I'm not gonna hold you. I used to skate before I got to Bergenfield, and I'm gonna tell you a spot I used to go to with my family on Saturdays.
Which one?
This was Route 17 by the Paramus Park Mall. They had a skating rink. That's where I used to go with that's where I learned, that's how I learned how to skate. And me, shout out to my father, shout out to my mother and my sister. The four of us used to go there on Saturdays, skate, and then we'd go to Nathan's Hot Dogs at the Paramus Park Mall. Yep. And that was just our little family ritual.
Right.
But not realizing that from that, and they wasn't playing none of this, it was just, we skated. My pops had skates, he was buying the wheels, my mother, we all had skates, but that place started me, that was my birthplace, and the rink was like my everything.
Yeah, the rink was
shout out, the rink gave me my firstborn, man.
Let me tell you something. The rink actually kept me out of trouble because I felt if I didn't have an outlet like skating, who knows where I would have been, Shy. All jokes aside, between basketball and skating, those was my two outlets from getting into the street shit that I could have got into.
Right.
And I appreciate the culture for that. Because who knows where my life would have been if I didn't have my skates or my basketball with me.
That's a fact. And I respect the fact that you even a man enough to admit that, because that's the impact that place did for us. Like that place, changed brothers' careers.
Yeah.
It made brothers step their game up. It made, what the influence, they made you want to get money.
Yep.
And shout out to all the women that just, the rink, the joints that used to come through that rink.
Let me
shout out to the Rikas, the same game girls.
Oh, the Rikas of the world. Shout out to Rika.
I said, my girl.
Hold on. Gotta shout out Rika. Rika, you was the first girl to bring the skates with the lights on them. Shout out to you, girl, because you had the glow skates. Like, nobody had lights on their wheels besides her. She had lights on her wheels, bro. That was crazy back then. Nobody had that.
Nah, nobody had
Rika
that.
had that on lock, and she would come out with the pom-poms and the lights on the skate. She's like, yeah, I'm killing it. Which she was.
Well, she was, and the same girl,
She was.
and D Fur's sister, and
Yeah.
all of them. The D Fur, man, listen, the Sean, our locals, Shawnees,
Oh, my God.
they tore it
Shawnee.
up like, yo, the joints that came through that rink.
Yo, it was crazy.
It was, yo, for real, it was no place.
I met my best friend there.
Yo, listen, like I said, if it wasn't for the rink, Naquan would not even be in the building.
I met my best friend. Shout out to Danielle, my best friend in the whole wide world. She's been my best friend, and she knows this story. The first time I met her, she was with her girl Kia from Patterson, and they pulled up in the red Toyota Camry. I saw her. I was like, "Yo, that's my dogs right there." And we was always cool. Never no like trying to holler at each other. It was just we saw each other, and it was a bond.
But that's what the rink brought too, because on the real, we met a lot of joints in there that it wasn't just...
Shout out to Joe. Joe be in the
You
building.
know what I'm saying? It wasn't just about, like you said, we met joints, and of course, skating did a lot. That's
it
what
did.
I think people don't really understand, because we met females on that skating floor that you might not would have met on that sideline.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So those joints that was out there with day crews and we out there every week, you built relationships. And not even on some, yo, let's trying to twist you. Just, yo, these are my skating
Right.
girls.
And the crazy part is, it was always a different crew. Like, it was a Patterson girl crew with Danielle and her crew. Shout out to Kathy and Michelle. Rest in peace, Michelle. We miss you. We love you. Her and Kathy used to be on the sidelines right in the middle all the time. Never skated. You know, Kathy skated, but Michelle, she would stay right there in the middle. Never move from that spot, yo. That was always her spot, yo.
And that's what the rink did.
It did.
And
man.
shout out to my Bergen County ladies too that was in the building
Oh, yes, Bergen
getting
County,
right.
Teaneck,
I ain't
Englewood.
going in front of y'all
We see
Hackensack.
y'all.
We saw y'all. Jeans was tight. Like, wow, okay. But you know, that's what the rink did though. And the
Yeah,
crazy thing
it
about
did.
it, I gotta say it, and I'm probably say it 5 more times in this interview. It was $7, y'all.
Yeah, it was.
It was $7.
It was
cash.
$7. That's
You didn't
it.
need a Mickey. You didn't need a brick. You didn't have to buy bottles. You didn't have to. Yo, it was $7 cash.
That's it. That's all we needed. That's all we
And
needed.
I'm gonna keep it funky. It was days. That's all I had to get in there. I'm gonna keep it real right now. It was times. That's because I knew once I got in there, I can get something from the concession stand. I ain't
Right.
worried about that.
That's all we needed.
We had somebody in the concession stand. We had somebody back there that was doing the skating.
And we
Did your
knew.
thing, and we knew.
We knew everybody.
So yo, let me get $2. Bet. Yo, go get something to drink. Bet. Yo, I'm gonna get the soda. So
We knew
It
everybody.
was times I just had enough to get in that rink,
And that was it.
and that's all I needed.
I didn't need no bus fare home. I didn't need no cab fare home. I just needed $7 to get in. And if George was at the door, he saw me. Come on, Dre.
Right,
get
if
in.
you got there a little bit earlier, you was already in there, so
Yep.
it didn't even matter. And the dope part about it, that I enjoyed about it, for brothers like myself at the time who didn't have the car, so I couldn't have the steering wheel,
Yep.
I didn't have the Benzie box. But when y'all was in line around the corner, and old boy standing there telling yo, come
on through.
And they're like, yo, how is he getting through? And we been in
Yo,
line.
let me tell you, they used to hate that. Like, cause like I said, I walked to
We
the
all walked.
So when I walked up, they was like, yo, how is he just walking by everybody? George would be like, come on, Dre. I would be
on.
like, all right. And they be looking at me like, yo, you're not gonna, he called me. I can't help y'all. Then when we get inside, they be like, yo, Dre, that's messed up. No, it's life. It happens, you know.
And that was the glory moment. Shout out to a lot of brothers, man. I'm gonna shout out to the Fur King Potter. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna shout out
Jerry.
I'm gonna shout him
out
out.
Jerry.
I ain't gonna, because he was nice on them skates. We're not gonna take away his talent on that floor. That other shit,
That's
we
different.
gonna leave that.
That's
That's
different.
another segment. But shout out to those cats that. Yo, it was like an alumni.
It was.
It was like a university. It was
had
like
to
a campus.
You had to be. You was down with you. You're right. It was like a fraternity. You was down with one fraternity. Either you was down with the dancing crew, you was down with the skate crew, you was down with the chill crew, or you was down with the sideline crew. Like I said, if you was down, they respected you.
And everybody fucked with you.
And then,
Like you just gotta be honest. Everybody fucked with us because a lot of I'm sure a lot of people in your crew wasn't nice like
No, they
because
wasn't.
it was brothers in my crew that went. I'm like, yo, just get on the floor.
get
This
on.
where the joints is at.
Right. And
I'm
that's
not
the crazy-
shooting a basketball for $1,000
Nah.
a shot. This is where the joints is at.
They was over. I used to see hustlers in the back. I used to see everybody by the snack bar standing around. And the crazy part was, if you had brownies on, sorry fellas, if you had brownies on,
But let them know what the brownies are, man. A lot of people
Sorry, the brownies are the skate rentals.
Thank you. You was a sucker.
If you had the skate rentals on, you was getting no play.
I'm
being honest. If you didn't have your own skates, you didn't get nobody's phone number. You was leaving by yourself. If you had your own skates, you had a little bit of a chance. But if you had the brownies,
you was cooked.
The trucks, nah.
You was cooked.
It was over.
You was cooked.
They was like this.
With the orange wheels?
They was like, who's this clown? Like, why?
Would you look at his wheels?
And then you rolling up to her like, hey, boo. She like, nah.
And then they taking off because they know you can't skate because you got the brownies on, so she know you can't skate. So she's like, come on.
Right.
And your dumb ass is behind her like the mommy. And we just tap you on your ass. Get off the floor. You taking up space.
Like, for real. I remember when I first got my pair of skates, and this was at Skate Key on Allerton, I was like, yo, I'm never going back to skate rentals again. It was like the first pair. I'm gonna be
it was like your first car.
Yeah, I'm be honest. I got my first pair of skates. They was of course Chicago's from Modell's, $30.
Listen,
the big stoppers.
Shout out to Modell's for supporting the black community on the skates.
That's all we could.
All of us had the Modell's.
We had them. Rinks. We had to get the loose wheels going so you could look.
And they got them fixed in the rink by Jerry or Brett. Right. Shout out to them.
And then you took the blue wheels off. Once you got nice, you got upgraded from the blue wheels to the white wheels.
Come on, then that was your graduation.
You got your All Americans. Once you got your All Americans, you was good.
They got your graduations.
And now all of a sudden, the chicks really looking at you because you got white wheels on. Your black skates are fresh. And they like, oh shit, he popping right now.
And let's not front. We used to clean our skates.
Oh yeah,
with Windex.
We did.
And clean the wheels with Windex and polish them so they can have that shine.
All day. I was.
Come on, man.
Man, listen, I miss the skate days.
I miss it. That was the greatest time of my life.
I ain't gonna lie. I enjoy skating now. I still love my skating passion to the end. Me and my wife, we still skate, on Sunday nights in Branchbrook. Shout out to Branchbrook DJ now.
Right, we ain't gonna take nothing from them. Thank you for bringing it back.
Thank you. We appreciate y'all, and I love like I said, I love all my skate crews, all my skate families.
It's never gonna be a Bergen. It's never gonna be a rink on Washington Avenue.
Nah,
that's gonna.
You're never gonna get that back.
What we did and the people we saw and the impact it did. I remember I seen shout out to Unique. Mm-hmm. He came through in the Z and started throwing hundreds out the window and everybody was running down the street.
Shout out to AZ.
Shout out to AZ, man. AZ
came through. He brought Nas through. Y'all laugh, but the rink was like the real celebrity spot popping before celebrities got big. And they'll tell you to the day, yo, I made it. I went through the rink. If you made it through the rink, you was popping.
Yo, we had the two greatest rappers of all time in the ring. We had Flex bought Big out there when Big came through in the land. Mm-hmm. We had Tupac Shakur on the skate floor with cross-color clothes on.
With the hat.
With the hat on. Skating with me. Skating with us. I'm not going to say with me, but Dre, I'm not fronting.
He was.
Like y'all say capping. Pac was in the rink with us on the floor. It wasn't none of that thug life. He wasn't throwing 50 guns chilling. Up. It wasn't Death Row Records. It was, yo.
And now
with them herringbones on.
Now it brings me to this day and age. A lot of celebrities now are trying to come back to the skate world. Shout out to Swiss Beats, Alicia Keys, my man Deion Grant from the New York Giants. He skates now. Khalil Kane from Juice.
That's dope.
He skates now. And
I'm quite sure Vinny and them is still skating.
Vinny still skates. Rajon Rondo still skates out in his area. Mike Epps. He skates in Cali, but when he skates in Cali, he's cool like he is, a regular person. Floyd Mayweather skates. A lot of entertainers see that the skating culture is coming back, so they making it popping again.
Let's get it.
I mean, they not making it popping again, but they join.
They trying to bring it back. Right. They trying to bring the essence of what it was, because at the end of the day, if you talk to any skater in the Bergen County, New York City, and I'm going to even say what I'm about to say now, and they're going to say, oh, you reaching Connecticut?
Yeah, absolutely.
To Boston. Yo, I met joints from Boston in the rink. Like, what are you down there on the, yo, we from Boston College.
Yeah.
Boston College.
You say that, though, but for us, we got skate trips all over the world, bro. Like, there was just a skate trip last week down in North Carolina that was like a family reunion for all the skaters from Cali, Chicago, New York, Jersey.
I need to get in. I want to get involved with that.
It was
Please plug me in with that.
It was popping, and all I got saying, my friends was like, "Yo, Dre, you're not going. It's the reunion, because we was shut down for the 2 years for the pandemic. I couldn't go this year, but I said, I'll come back next year. I'll make an appearance.
Right.
But it's back. It's like people say skating died. It never went nowhere. It was just
the rink died. Let's be clear.
The rink
I feel
died,
like
but
once the rink died a little bit,
it fell off.
It took something from us.
But I hate when people be like, do you still skate? Yeah, I still skate. But they be like, yo, where you skating at? And then when I give them the info, it's like, I'll never see them. It's like, they just talking the talk. I skate. You know me, Shy. I skate.
See, that's why I said, yo, send me, and I'm going to post with your greatness.
What I do. And then the crazy part is, you saw me at Corey's thing.
Come on, man.
We was out there. I was out there on concrete. And anybody who knows you skate on concrete, you can mess up your wheels. You can mess up your knees. I just don't care. I get it in. That's what I do.
That was that's our culture. That was you. I believe, and I'm going to say this too, man. That ring also made us men.
It did. It made us.
When I say men, let's not get it clear. When I say men, it taught us a lot of game.
It did.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was because we had to understand, like, even when we was having the beefs in between towns, like when Patterson would come out, if Patterson had beef with Englewood or Englewood had beef with Teaneck, it made us say, yo, we got to stand up and, if we have to scrap that night, we got to scrap. We got to be men. We got to defend our home. But at the same time, it made you realize, like, yo, is this really how we want to handle ourselves? Some of us grew up out of that.
Right.
And say, yo, you know what? I'm not going here to fight. I'm going to skate.
And then let's be clear, a lot of shit happened after the rink was
After the rink, right.
Because niggas did not want to fuck up that vibe.
No, not at all.
Anyway, and if
not
you
at
was
all.
fighting on the side over there, that's on you. We wasn't coming off that floor.
And you was getting arrested.
And right.
And
ASAP.
getting arrested in Bergen County was no fun.
Especially in Bergenfield. Teaneck cops used to eat niggas up with tickets because a lot of my people was
God.
like, yo, I wouldn't know. I had the bike. I had the mountain bike.
I was there
in the bushes, riding home, knowing that I had to sleep on the side of the house. But you know what? I had about 7 numbers.
Yep, you was good.
And I was cool with that. And I'll wake up tomorrow.
I'm going to tell you like this, and then I'm gonna move to the next thing. But the crazy part is I remember the night at Bergenfield. I guess something happened, and the riot gear was out there.
I remember that night.
They was lined up.
The night Big was there.
They was lined up across Forster Village. I couldn't get home.
Like this.
Yeah,
before the jaw, before the black
Lives Matter.
Right, let's speak on the white dog.
Arms.
Yo, they was doing that in Bergenfield back then.
Yeah,
because they knew what was the intensity.
I couldn't walk home that night. I had to walk through Miami Subs. Shout out to Miami Subs because we went there afterwards.
Come on, man.
And then I had to walk around and
but
go
where
through
was
the
Miami
back
Subs?
roads.
So the people that don't know, Miami Subs is where CVS is right now.
Yep.
Stop fucking playing. Get your history up.
Yo, y'all don't fucking know.
And I'm 47 and we telling our age and it
Right,
don't matter.
listen, I'm about to be 46 next month, so
I'm 47 and I'm gorgeous.
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I got the salt and pepper going. I'm good.
Hey man, I got the convertible Jones, but it is what it is. But nah, we not even going. Yo, we could talk for days on it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We gonna change the game a little bit, man. We gonna talk about, man, your career in reffing, man.
Yo, let me tell you,
you've been reffing. It's just as long as you've been skating, champ.
Happened. You know what's crazy? The first time I started reffing, I got connected with my guy. His name is Tony Hargraves. He went to Iona's Finest. I was playing in the league in New York.
Okay.
And I was playing on the team with his sons or whatever. And he was like, yo, why don't you start reffing? That's where the real money is. I was like, all right, here's my number. We exchanged numbers. And then I was with him one day. We was hanging out at Open Gym on Route 4 at City Sports. And I'm looking over his shoulder. He's sitting here writing ref checks. And I'm saying like $300, $400. I'm like, that's what they make? He was like, yeah, that's a weekend. I was like, sign me up. Right, sign me up.
And you still out there on that court. It's
I'm
like you're still doing something you love.
Yo, I've been reffing for now like 15 years, yo.
All levels?
All levels.
Even college?
No, I didn't do college yet.
Okay.
I didn't get to college yet. I think.
Did you have to have a certain certificate? I'm about to get into that. It's not just, yo, you going to run out and be a ref.
You gotta get certified. Once you get certified, there's levels that you gotta take. Like, you gotta get recommended by like certain boards to get, to that college level. There's exams, just like you gotta take exams to get into college. You gotta take exams for a ref test to see if you're certified, if you're, in good health and all that good stuff. Call that. If you gotta know the game. Now, a lot of basketball players transition from either playing to coaching or playing to reffing. I did both. I was coaching at, shout out to Wayne PAL, I was coaching there. I was coaching at Hoop Zone when it was the Gym Rats.
Right.
I was coaching at Riverside. So I've been through coaching over the last 20 years too.
You've been in the whole circle.
So I've done both, and I've seen the progression of refs come through the doors and come and go. Reffing is not as easy as people think it is. You know what I'm saying?
That was my next question, and I wanted to ask you this about the reffing game, because is it our skin color? Does that play a part of it, or is like, you know what, we just, and just hear me, you know, you kind of with a bunch, you know, the group of refs that you surrounded by is just all brothers, or is it, you know what I mean?
It depends.
Talk to us about that a little bit.
It depends on who your assigner is.
Okay.
Like my assigner, shout out to my Uncle Tone, he's been my assigner ever since I got in the game.
What is an assigner?
Now,
just for the
so
people that
say
don't know.
if you have a group of your own refs.
Okay.
So let's say if a tournament director calls you, yo, Shy, I need 12 refs for Saturday.
Copy. You got 12 under your belt.
I got 12 under my belt. He sends you a schedule. You filling in, yo, Dre, you got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Shy, you got 5, 6, 7, 8.
Copy. Okay.
You and your partner are
Okay.
doing 5, 6, 7, 8. Me and my partner doing 1, 2, 3, 4. If he wants to ref, he could ref because he's an assigner. He's not going to get paid what we get paid because he gets an assigner's fee.
Okay.
And then he divvies out the money from what he gets paid from that director or that program person. So once he gets paid, he pays everybody out a certain amount of whatever the games are worth.
Now, does everybody get the same amount of much money, even though the experience, the level of experience might be different?
Everybody gets the same amount. Now,
because you might have 5 years, he might have 10 years.
It's you know what they go on now. If you're certified, you may get like an extra $1 or $2.
Okay.
Non-certified, you make $30. You make between $30 and $35 an hour a game. You do 5 games, and then you do 5 games on Saturday, 5 games on Saturday. You good money. Then the next week you do the same thing. That's 10 games. You good money for 2 weeks.
Just off
Just
that
off
that
repping.
side hustle.
Just off a side hustle.
Right.
That could be your gas and toll money now.
Right.
Because the way the shit going now, you know, you need every little extra money that you get.
Exactly.
So reffing for me now is like money for my daughters or money for my granddaughters or money for my wife, go get your nails on here, whatever.
Right.
That I don't have to worry about touching my regular.
Right. That's we know what we doing with this
Right.
over here.
So the reffing money is good now. I mean, the game, and you know what is bad now? And this brings me to my next segment. AAU basketball, the games that we ref, is not the same anymore.
When we was growing up.
Nah, it's not the same anymore. And I say that with much love and shout out to all the coaches and AAU teams. It's not the same because now you got so many teams that are watered down just taking players to make a team. There's no real true talent back in the days where if you tried out for a team back in New York, there was 3 teams, Shy. You know that. There was Riverside, there was Gauchos, and there was Jersey Jayhawks. Right. If you didn't make those 3 teams, you didn't play. Period. Now you got it to where if you got a son and he gets cut by Gauchos or Riverside, what you gonna do, Shy? Oh, you know what?
Me call my man up.
Let me go get 5 of his boys who don't play and not really that good, but I'm going to put him in a tournament for $300 and let him play against the Gauchos. Now, what is that going to do? That's going to deflate him by you putting him up against stiff competition, knowing he's not that good enough to do that. What you should do after that point, work with your son. Get him in programs to get him better. These parents are just making teams because they're not good enough to make real teams anymore. And AAU is so watered down. And I mean, it creates.
It's also bloodthirsty motherfuckers out there sucking the leech out of these young kids.
Right, and that's true too. And it's so bad because now the reffing thing.
It's a business.
It's a business, and the reffing thing it keeps us going with business. But the games that we ref are so. I want to say. Well, let me say
it.
They're bad. They're fucking bad. They're
Shit
bad.
is
Like I don't like watching a game where a score is 50-4. What is that doing for that team? What is doing for that? What are you doing for those kids? They just beat a team by 40-something points. So now what? You think your team is good? No. Let me take your team out of town.
I see what you're saying.
And
do some
then,
real competition.
Right. Do some real competition and watch you be on the other end of that stick. So I say this with the utmost respect, and this reflects back to me reffing. I don't mind doing the reffing games because, you know, it's money in my pocket or whatever. But the talent level that we ref now is just so bad, shot. It's not even... Like when me and you played, we used to play at City Sports, we had our teams. You know nobody was coming against us because they didn't want to play against us. But now, the games that we ref, even the men's leagues, they're not the same. The men's league, I be reffing at 92nd Street Wild, sometimes in the city. I just look back and laugh like, yo, y'all really asking for a call? Like, back in the days, I got thrown to the ground, and I looked at the ref, and the ref was like, get up. Now you looking at me for a call? Nah, we don't do that.
Because we grown men knowing we 40, nigga, and niggas ain't got healthcare plans. So we need a call. And a lot of us is going back out there trying to relive our glory moments.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
I'm not joining no men league until I know
I'm in shape.
I'm in shape to perform. You're not gonna have me out there.
Yeah, like I'm not going up and down one time and then you be like, yo, Dre, you need a sub? Yep, I do.
Right.
No, I'm not doing that.
And I'm not joining the team to sit on the bench because you need extra players just in case. You're not going to play me out because that wasn't my level of my talent when I played from the beginning.
Right.
And I'm going to keep it a buck. I never really had my chance because I was an idiot, but,
man, life happens, bro.
Right. We played ball.
That's what we did.
I come from an era we played ball.
I was telling some of the kids that I work and coach with now, it's so crazy that you guys talk about y'all want to take it to the next level. What are you doing to take it to the next level? Sha, we played ball from noon on a Saturday, starting in Maywood, going to Tenafly, going to Voti, going back to Maywood, then ending the night somewhere else all day long until the lights came on.
It's funny you said that because I said something to my son, Sha, about that. He played ball, had his little run. And I said, you don't love the game no more. I said this to him like 2 weeks ago. He was like, yo, you told me I watch. I said, no. He's like, yo, I be watching clips. I said, yo, bro, I used to sit in my friend's house. Mm-hmm. We cried when the Michigan Wolverines, when Chris Webber lost.
Call that timeout.
We cried. We used, and I'm going to even go even further before them. I'm going to take you back to Jerry Tarkania when he had the towel in his mouth. When we was doing that in middle school, like we slept, ate shit. That's what we did. Yo, we used to shovel my backyard because I was one of the few that had a basketball court in his backyard. Mm-hmm. We shoveled my backyard and we were playing. And it's brick ass outside. These kids ain't doing that now.
Nah. They not doing it when it's nice out. And that's the crazy part. Like, I be driving by parks now and I'm looking like, yo, back in the days, we would be on the court right now.
You had to be there.
Like, now I drive by, I see a kid shooting by himself. I see kids just putting up shots. Nobody's out there playing, being physical. Yo, it's bad. And then they wonder why it's a uphill kind of situation where this division now, they're soft. They're soft.
Yeah, these kids are soft. We ain't gonna
and it translates into the game. If you look at college,
they look for every call.
If you look at college,
flops.
NBA, they are all soft. None of these kids nowadays, none of these NBA players could have played back in our era, bro. None of them would have survived, God rest his soul, Anthony Mason. None of them would have survived a hit from Oakley, a hit from Rodman, a hit from Shaq. None of these dudes now.
Or even the white boy from Detroit, man. Let's be honest.
Bill Lambert.
Bill Lambert will kill you. Even Kevin McHale, Danny Ainge.
Yo,
then Boston. Them white boys was tough.
And they will beat your ass and look at you. And be like, I dare you to say something.
But the game, the referee, like you said, the rules changed too. Yeah. The touch fouls.
Now it's touch foul. You can't touch
crazy.
Nobody.
It's like, yo, you can just skate on ice. Back then it was elbows.
I would put my arm in your back. The refs wouldn't say nothing. But now if you do this, we got to call it.
But even in the street ball too, because if you really think about it, yo, personally, playing in the streets, you might have got a broken rib from playing in the park.
Absolutely.
And you came out there the next day and said, let's do it again.
Yeah, let's play again.
Let's do it. And, we come from an era, too. Mm-hmm. We wanted to play
with the big boys.
With the big boys.
I didn't want to
play with my league. My league was cool. Shout out to my time. My era, Tryon Park was our mecca.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We had the bitty rims. I lived my whole Jordan career out there. But I wanted to play on that other court.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to play with the scrubs. I
wanted to flourish with the OGs because that's what we were taught to play. That's how we were taught. That's how you got your game up.
That's how we got better. And that translated for us when we used to go to Hoop Zone and play against some teams that thought they was nice. They would get on the court and be like, yo, we about to bust your ass. Shout out to the Bad Boys team because that's what we did. We used to get out there and light niggas up.
And we were physical.
We used to light niggas up. It was me, Nate, Sha, Albert, Rock, Corey, and Marcel. Yo, they had no answers for us. None. They couldn't figure us out.
Because they thought that fundamental bullshit that it was taught.
Nah,
I
we
mean,
didn't
don't get
play
me
that.
wrong. Fundamentals is everything. Let's be clear.
Shout out to my Uncle Pete. He just
You know what
checked
I'm
in on the
saying?
live. Good.
But we
He's a
played.
ref, yo.
We played with a passion. We played with love.
Yes, we
And
did.
we ate, slept. Yo, it's times we used to go to Tenafly, and I swear I'd be up at Tenafly for about 9 hours, and I walk back home from Tenafly to Inglewood.
I used to
with a jug of juice.
listen.
Where that cost
We
me
used to
$1.
load up my brother's
that gave
car.
me diabetes probably right now.
We used to load up my brother's car. It was always either 4 or 5 of us. It was me, my brother Tone, my brother Rob, my brother Dean, and my brother Q. It was us 5, and if we didn't have that 5, we would just pick somebody up in the park.
Exactly,
And
because
say, yo, come on, you
can run with us.
Just go with the flow.
But
good.
you gonna pack the car out. And shout out to the mothers that was taking us
And
to
letting
go
us-
to the gyms.
and letting us steal the car.
Right, shout out to the mother. Right, shout out to the parents that was actually taking us. You know what I'm saying? I had a very close friend. Shout out to his mother, Whiteface. Yo, she used to take us and sit at
Sit at Tenafly.
with us for 8 hours, and then be like, yo, take us to Open Gym on Monday,
Yup.
Open Gym on Tuesday
Oh,
at
remember-
TJ, BF.
Oh, remember Open
Shout
Gyms?
out to the mothers that was really supporting us, and we had hoop dreams, but we knew then
Right.
that we were just going there because we love the game.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, some of us went to the Seton Halls and
Right.
and we went to the summer camps, but as time progressed, that's a whole nother topic. But
Absolutely.
our passion during our teenage years, we had that rink, we
had
had
the rink.
basketball,
Right.
we had each other.
It kept, like I said before, it kept us out of a lot of shit, shot, because we could have been the ones who went left instead of going right
And I'm gonna keep it real, some of us did go left
for a minute.
for a minute, which I was myself, and I'm gonna keep it real. I was going left the whole time because I wasn't supposed to be in the rink, but I knew what the rink meant to me.
Right. Absolutely.
So if I gotta get on punishment tomorrow night, I hear you, man. It was worth it because
It was
that
worth
chick and them girls and
my
me to
God.
skate on that floor with my parasucos on, and I'm thinking I'm the
He said
flyest
parasucos.
nigga. Right, parasucos
Yo,
that I got,
good.
and I'll never forget it. Shout out to Kev Childs that had the Boss Imperial on 125th. They had the white BM in the middle.
stop.
Me and Coley bought our first
Stop.
pair of parasucos,
Stop.
and we wore them to the damn rink.
Yo,
I thought I was God Almighty.
Yo, did you say parasuit?
And the
Yo.
Pepe jeans that had the Pepe written around your belt buckle.
And
When
let's
come
not
on,
front.
this is before the Truies and all that other shit now.
Chill. Before you go there, shout out to everybody who had a Pele jacket and you had a belt that you would wear your sweater up so everybody could see what kind
But where'd
of
you
belt
get your Pele from? You got it from the Mark 25
125.
inside by your man. The West Indian cat had the hair. He had every Pele you wanted. And he
Every
said,
color.
Every color.
Every color. And he
you-
didn't care.
I remember I bumped into Teddy Riley getting his coat in there one time. And, back in the days, I ain't going to front. Everybody know me. I thought I was Teddy's brother. You know what I'm saying? That whole Rexon effect one time. And that all stems from the rink. Chicks, that's my brother. And we ran from there. But that's what that era did.
Yeah,
and then
man.
you know what is funny? And our listeners might be like, y'all everywhere. But we really not because it all brought us back to one place.
Yep,
The
the
rink.
rink.
We gonna go skating, but we gonna play ball too.
Yep, we did.
And we saw the hustlers. We saw everything. We saw the baddest joints. I remember I seen joints coming down in cars and whips, but it was all back then for us. It was a experience to
Yeah, it
where we
was.
at now as men.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
it
saying?
really was.
Now we flipping into 2022, and my man, you a comedian.
Oh my God.
I mean, you always been a prankster and a clown, and I say clown with respect. So
But let me tell you. I'm
you
gonna tell you.
always had positive energy.
And
I never seen Dre mad.
You know what?
I ain't gonna front. I know you long. I never seen you piss. And I'm quite sure you had your moments, but I guess the time and place, cause our time was just we funning and we having a ball. I've never seen you like I never had to Dre bugging. We gotta calm Dre. It was never none of them. I just seen you free spirited.
I've always been the positive person out of the crew.
Facts.
Like like you said, I've never had to get out of character unless you really push me. Nobody's ever gotten me to that point.
Right, I never saw that.
Unless it has to deal with my family or my money, I let shit go.
Right.
Listen, me and you, we having a joke session. You roast me, I roast you.
Right.
At the end of the day, guess what? We gonna go have a beer. I'm good. So. You bring up the comedian shit, y'all.
I didn't see that. I ain't gonna front. When I saw you start promoting it, I said, but I laughed and say this. I said, yo, my guy never stops.
And that's the crazy part. Like I told you,
never stop. Like you always yo, I ain't gonna front. You one of the few brothers from the course of time that reinvented themselves but stayed the same.
Yeah. And
never sold your soul on no sucker shit.
And it reflects back to my internet days when I was on Facebook for a little while. I used to do this thing called the Dre 2.0 show. Back in the days, we used to just spark conversations, and we would talk about different topics. No topics was
off limits.
Off limits. We talk about sex, relationships, religion, politics, everything we talked about all day long, and people gravitated to that. So we had this thing called the 2.0 show. I was flossing it on Facebook, and then maybe 3 years ago, my brother, shout out to my brother Bill, the billionaire. He was doing comedy way before me. He's been doing it for like 10 years. And I seen him, with the energy and the jokes and everything. I was like,
what makes you want to get into comedy?
Because
like, that's a whole, I don't know.
Like you said, my energy gets me over.
It does.
Like if I get on stage, I'm gonna command to you for you to pay attention to me. I'm gonna do something. You're gonna be like, yo, I gotta look at this nigga. I gotta. He's gonna make me laugh regardless.
Right.
I may not make you laugh the whole time, but you're going to chuckle a few fucking times while I'm up there. And that's all you need to build as a comedian. Now, once you get that first laugh out of your system from me, then I know I can build on more. And I done captivated you to listen to me and be like, yo, this nigga's really funny. Let me, keep working. And that's what Bill and a couple of my comedian friends, my boy Derek, my boy Chuck, my boy Bill, they give me things to make myself better. A lot of female comedians too, Monique, Vernita, and Big Bad Mama. They all give me compliments and tell me things to work on to make myself better.
Right.
And I've been putting that into my thing now. And my thing now is learning how to write more and put jokes together and the timings down. Once I get that, I might be unstoppable. Because I'm, like you said, I'm a clown. I get on stage, I could just stand there like this. And motherfuckers gonna be like, yo, what is he doing? And I'm just standing here. But then I'm gonna get into my set. And it's crazy you say that. My wife doesn't think I'm funny at all. She hates me when I'm on stage. She'll come support me.
Of course.
But she's like, yo, I don't find you funny. Like, other people find me funny. But she does not.
Well, how long you and wifey got time in?
13 years.
And she don't find you funny?
No, she don't.
You know why? Because she's seen the whole package of Drake.
She seen me at my best. She seen me at my worst.
But also, she may not think you funny, but she admires that you always been reinventing yourself.
Right.
And that's the difference. Because Dre, I'm gonna ask you this: do you feel like our culture from where we've came from in our era also can allow you to be a comedian? Because I feel like you also can bring our era back.
I can, absolutely.
That some of,
absolutely.
Of course, the age people and the age, adults that's probably at the shows is our bracket. Mm-hmm. But you also taking them back to a time, because we could have did the whole segment talking about the ring.
Absolutely.
We could have
been here all night talking about the ring.
So, but for you coming from an era of that time and your audience coming from that era, you can kind of take them back to the good old days.
And that's what I do. Like, my first joke that I did, it was a music joke. And we was talking about how nowadays they got these new music and shit. They got Tatiana. That's this era's dot song.
Right.
But I'm like, nah, man, y'all not the original dot masters. We are. Because we had our own dot song back then. And then I would drop the Juvenile beat. And I'd be like, yo, when we was younger, this was our dot song.
Or even a Luke.
Right. I didn't even want to give him that. Because that shit right there was crazy.
That was rich. That's the all-time Hall of Fame. That's the MVP of that music.
You could play that song at a bar mitzvah and that shit get
You can play that shit in any location in the world.
Yo,
and that ass is going to twerk.
Could you imagine playing Luke at a bar mitzvah with all these white kids?
But they going to love it. You know what I'm saying? They going to love it.
Yo, just imagine you sitting there and the DJ be like, all right, bar mitzvah kids, we're about to play this new song called Luke. And it's called I Wanna Rock. Chicka chicka, I Wanna Rock. And the parents are sitting there like...
But some of the parents probably know the fucking lyrics. Because let's be clear. That's a classic song.
And you were probably born to that song.
You drop that shit. Don't stop. Come on, man. And you were getting the club.
They was probably born to that song, Sean.
Come on, we're not going to get in the club 2000. When Mecca Audio brought him there.
And this is what I told you before. And like you said, me reinventing myself. and you know me to be a hustler. And the crazy part is, I have 5 actual paying jobs, Sha. And like a lot of people who look at me, they like, yo, Dre, how the hell do you work 5 jobs? And I'm like, yo, I manage my time. I know what I want to do. And I have goals and shit that I want to achieve. Like, I got my own brand now. As you can see, my Dre's One Gotta Go. I do that on Facebook every day. It's called, I put in different topics, Sha. And it's...
No, let the listeners know.
Let me tell y'all follow me on Facebook, Andre
and
Thomas.
And if they not follow him now
follow
and get
me
on.
now on Facebook, Andre Thomas. And you see me every day. I'll do one morning convo, one afternoon convo. And I'll put up different topics for y'all to choose. And it's hard because I do like different shit. Like, I'll put one post morning convo on a Monday. And it'll be 4 Michael Jackson songs.
Right.
And it'll be all 4 banging Michael Jackson songs. It'll be like Thriller, Beat It, Remember the Time, or Rock My World. And I'll be like, One Gotta Go. Yo, Shot, I could show you some of the inboxes I get. They be like, yo, my nigga, you wildin'. How you gonna make us choose? Like, how you gonna make us choose between these songs? And then I'll put up different artists. I'll put up like Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Sade, or Anita Baker. And they'll be like, yo, One Gotta Go. And all they work. And they be like, yo, my nigga, I grew up on Sade. Like,
yeah, but see, you starting something that's very touchy. You know why? Because I believe that's what you're doing is very... I'm going to keep it that's some smart shit because now you getting people involved when you say one gotta go.
Yes.
So everybody's like, damn. So this is a great way of pitching it to the folks.
Yeah.
And that's why I say about you, champ. Like, you always figuring out a way to captivate your crowd.
And I've been doing this for the last 2 years.
Now, you've been doing that since I know you, brother, because you've been on that skate floor, brother. And I've been standing right next to joints, and I've heard him say, yo, who's he? You see how he's skating? And I say that not to keep bringing, but I'm just saying, captivating the moment. And that's what, not to cut you off, but that goes back to the essence of that rink. Mm-hmm. Because all of us, when certain songs came on, we knew that's Dre's shit. He about to tear this shit up. That's Shy shit. That's Brett shit. Yep. And we knew what it meant to have y'all behind us and support us and stand around us while we bust that and the joints is looking.
Y'all, let me tell you.
That's captivating the crowd. So you've been doing that shit your whole career, champ.
It was crazy before, like when I was younger, it would be crazy because girls would be like, yo, Dre, how you teach me how to skate? I'd be like, I don't teach. And I'm not to be mean or nothing.
I don't think you can teach.
I can't.
Because I learned from watching y'all.
I can't teach.
I took something from you, him, her.
I really can't teach. And I it's nothing personal. It's just that I know me as a teacher, you're going to get frustrated with me because I'm going to tell you to do the shit that I can do.
But I don't think you can teach what we was doing.
Nah, you can't.
Because none of us went to school for skating.
But now, and skate lessons is becoming a thing, which is good because you got...
What are you teaching, though? The basics?
No, you teaching the basics. Remember, we just skated. We didn't care about, certain things like pivots, 360s, or one leg.
How many swollen toes you had?
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
We skated.
Swollen
How
ankles.
do you teach skating, though?
I'm going to tell you. Shout out to my brother, Boot Camp Corey. He's been doing it for the last 5 years. Teaching.
Shout out to Boot Camp Corey, man.
And if y'all want lessons Saturday mornings at the rink in Branchbrook, him and his crew, they teach you the basics to get you good to get to that next level. And I'm glad he does that because there are people, like we said, people who are coming back to skating, and then it's bringing the newer skaters out, the people who wear the brown skates to get their skates. You know what I'm saying? The same process we went through.
Right, go cop.
So now with different skate lessons and different skate teachers out there, is bringing the skate generation back. The older, the younger, and it's mixing them all together. So that's a good thing, and I'm glad he's doing it because I know I don't. First of all, I don't have the patience. Like, if you can't do what I do, get off the floor. Like, I'll be like, yo, one-legged turns all around the rink. And if you can't do it in the first day, I'm going to be like, yo, it's just like me coaching basketball. Like, I expect you to be a certain way when I'm coaching you. And you know me, I do everything with passion. And I tell you, yo, you can't do that, get out. Get off.
I used to call you the John Thompson of the hood. Word is boss, yo, my man Dre, the John Thompson of the hood.
Yo, it was crazy because whenever I coach, like whatever team I coach, like if I get a group of 16s, 17s, or 15s, I always make a disclaimer. I said, listen, If your kid is soft, don't let him play for me. Because I'm that real coach. I'm going to curse at you. I'm going to grab your jersey. I'm going to push you around. I'm going to make you be the best player that you can be.
You might even curse at him.
No, I do.
Okay.
I tell a parent, I'm like, listen, you're going to hear me drop an F-bomb at your kid. If you don't like that, don't play for me. Don't. Because
that's honest too.
And but it's reality though. Because what's going to happen when they play at the next level? You're not going to coddle them while they're in college. You're not going to coddle them if they make the pros. This is the shit that they're going to go through. This is the shit they got to get ready for. You think any of these kids are going to go to a UNC and think the coach is not going to curse at you for messing up? You think a kid going to the NBA, a coach is not going to curse at you for fucking up?
Shit, just these summer camps and these AAU traveling teams. You think these coaches ain't ripping their fucking heads off? White crackers is talking crazy, white, black. I remember I was at a gym one night and the Indian coach was going ape shit, and I said, "Yo, I respect his passion.
Right.
He loved it. He loves the game."
And that brings me back to the shit we was talking about earlier, where if your kid don't make a team, don't make a team for him. Just tell him, yo, you're not good enough right now. You got to work on your shit. You should have been in the gym every day or outside every day getting better. But instead, what are you doing? YouTube, PlayStation. Yeah. It's a different generation. We didn't have all that shit, Shy. We didn't have cell phones to take video of us up playing back then. Right. We didn't have none of that. Now you got kids with their videos of Snapchats and TikToks and taking all these videos and shit. We didn't do none of that. You know how we got recruited? We had a big-ass VCR tape that somebody in the stands had and sent it to colleges.
Yeah.
That's how
the colleges came to you. Or they came to the parks.
Right. They knew if they wanted you, they would find you. And it's a crazy thing that a lot of coaches now are not going to these schools because these kids don't have the passion that we did. Perfect example, St. Peter's in the NCAA right now.
Oh, man, I mean, that's...
How crazy is that? How crazy? Those kids are from Jersey and New York. There's not one out-of-state kid on there.
Let's talk about the coach. Shout out to Sheen.
Shout out to Shy. We used to play with Shy.
Come on, man.
We used to play ball with Shy. Shy is teaching these kids how he played back in the days and getting them to listen and buy in to what he's producing.
And St. Peter's and from Jersey's fucking city is in the Elite Eight.
Elite Eight.
About to play North Carolina. And possibly could win.
They possibly could.
They possibly alive.
I'm scared, and I'm a North Carolina fan. I'm nervous. I'm nervous right now. Like tomorrow, I don't want to watch the game because I don't want to be disappointed. But I'm gonna be happy for Sha. But at the same time, UNC is my team. I'm like, damn, I'm fucking.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I want to see these kids just win the chip. Yo, those shits is like that's what makes March Madness.
Let me tell you
for
something.
us that love.
That's the passion.
When you see kids like that winning.
Yo, that kid from St. Peter's, the white kid, he went to Bergen Catholic.
Yeah.
He went to Bergen Catholic.
I was actually at work looking him up.
He was at Bergen
today.
Catholic.
That's crazy. I was actually at work. Where's this kid from? Yo, I actually was at work today looking up the whole squad. It's like, yo, these kids is
from New York and Jersey.
Locals.
And these are the kids that the Kentuckys, the Kansases, the Villanovas, the Purdue's, everybody passed up.
And some of them missed their last year.
Yeah, and you think their stock just didn't rise for the NBA this year? Even if they don't get drafted.
Or go overseas.
They're going somewhere. They are going somewhere.
Facts.
And that is the crazy part of it. Like, these kids have nothing to lose right now. They're going to get something out of this.
They're getting something right now. The school just got a check.
Right.
Shout out to St. Peter's for that
Shout
check.
out to St. Peter's.
Elite 8. Now, I'm going to ask you this, being that you're a coach.
Here we go. I knew it was coming. Here we go.
I'm going to ask, do you think your boy's going to bounce from them, man? And I say that, yo, my man, me and him sports group junkies, we was talking today. He's like, yo, bro, do you think the checkbook, matter of fact, it was yesterday. He said, yo, you think the checkbooks ain't open for old boy?
For sure?
Yeah.
And
I was like, yo, I don't think he should leave. I think he should stay there and bring the stock up.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you this. Shy is going to leave. He's going to Seton Hall because the head coach already left.
Okay. Well, Seton Hall is
his alma mater.
Say it, because I might have got tongue tied.
His alma mater. That's his school.
That's the only place I can respect.
He's going to go there. But when he goes there, the amount of money he can bargain with now is going to be off the fucking chain. He can say whatever. He can walk in Seton Hall tonight and be like, yo, I need $5 million to come. You know what the Seton Hall AD is going to do? They're going to get boosters. They're going to get whoever they need to do.
If he wins that chip, he can get 20.
Yes, absolutely.
He wins that fucking national championship.
If he wins,
he might go. Nah, I'm just hyping it. He can't go to NBA.
No, yes, he can.
I don't think so.
No, let me tell you
I'm gonna disagree with you. King.
No. Let me tell you why. If he wins this chip with St. Peter's this year, and after he's done, there are going to be NBA executives like, yo, we need him on the hardwood floor of an NBA team.
Yeah, but he might be a staff. He's not gonna be a head coach.
Yes, let me ask you a question, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Right now, who's the better coach, him or Steve Nash?
You know what? I'm gonna say this with all fairness. I don't never thought Steve Nash was a good coach because he just never coached nobody. It was just he had Mike D'Antonio, his coach that was already in the building, and a lot
I'll do you one better. Who's the better coach, him or Steve Kerr?
See, whoa, wow.
Now
I'm gonna give Steve Kerr the experience wise because he's been a coach longer.
But Steve Kerr
walked into a situation that Mark Jackson laid
exactly.
out.
So you tell me if Shaheen gets let's say he takes over,
but his skin color is not going to allow him to get that head coach position.
Yes, it will. It because of his resume. His resume speaks volumes. He's taking kids from the hood to national prominence right now. So imagine if he takes a team that's in the cellar dweller. Let's say he takes.
But you taking adults though? They gotta buy in.
It does no. The NBA is not adults right now. The NBA is kids. The NBA is kids right now.
You're right.
So the NBA is kids. He takes another.
The word is you taking rich kids.
You're taking rich kids, and you're making them buy into your system, like he did with St. Peter's.
So let me flip this. What coach? If right now he wins this championship. Give me a team that would be a good fit for him.
Houston Rockets. Wow. And I'll tell you why. They got a young core down there. They got the kid Jalen Green, who's on the come up. They got one veteran with Eric Gordon if he stays. And they got a leader with him. I'm telling you.
And they got Woods down there too.
And right. So you take them three and you build a system around him where Shaheen makes them play.
I'm going to respect that answer.
If he makes them play,
that's a good
that
one,
Houston team will become a run and gun team.
They're already that now. They just be more put together.
Right. They'll have structure. They have no structure right now in Houston.
Nah, it's not.
It's just I'm out here playing for myself. I'm out here playing
to get a contract.
Right, to get my money.
Some getting
But
bags.
Shaheen gonna make them get hungry for more. Like, yo, are you content with just having a 2-year contract? Or are you trying to get all-star level? Are you trying to get to playoff level? Are you trying to get NBA championship level?
I feel
He'll instill that in him because he did it at St. Peter's. And once again, these kids will look and see, yo, Shaheen just took a number 15 seed from nowhere.
I don't even know what division St. Peter's is.
They in the MEAC. They won the championship.
That's how they got into the...
That's how they got in.
Yeah, I knew that.
Now, they take that team, and let's say they take those kids. Now look at what he's done. He's got these kids raising a banner in Jersey City, New Jersey, Sha.
Man, at fucking St. Peter's. You know how much money's about to flow through there? It's flowing through there right
They
now.
sold out of their stuff the first game when they beat Kentucky. Now, here's the thing about that. They just beat Kentucky. A national team.
Powerhouse.
A national recruitment team.
Powerhouse.
5-star kids go to this school. But you just lost to a kids who play in the park. What is that saying? What is that saying?
And they just beat Purdue. Let's not forget. They
not only Purdue, they beat Murray State. And they just beat Purdue.
I wasn't impressed with Murray State. I'm gonna be honest. Murray State, I felt like St. Peter's was.
They should have.
They
should have beat them.
But when they took down Kentucky and
then Purdue, come on, these are national powerhouse teams.
So do we still ride their wave right now?
Yeah, I do. You do.
I do. I love an underdog. I mean, the odds of them winning the national championship on FanDuel, you probably bet $10 and be a millionaire if you make that bet.
If you do,
it's still high as a kite.
And if they hit.
But let's talk about this. What about how many brackets St. Peter's is fucked up? Nobody got a bracket left.
Listen.
Because nobody had St. Peter's in their bracket. So let's stop the bullshit.
First of all, the only people who had St. Peter's in their bracket.
It was niggas from St. Peter's.
St. Peter's. And those are the only people I respect for saying they're St. Peter's fans. We respect Jersey because it's a culture. We respect, repping Jersey all day, every day, because that's our culture. But there's nobody sitting like me and you who had St. Peter's beating Kentucky in the first round.
Even go to the Elite Eight.
No. There's nobody. If somebody, check this out.
Somebody got to show me that ticket.
If you show me
the ticket.
Fuck the ticket. Show me.
I got to see the ticket.
Show me your bracket that you had St. Peter's this far. Word is bond, I'll sell you $100 right away.
Facts. That's major facts. You got to
$100. Show me.
Or anybody that put that on their ticket.
Don't print it right now and go and fill it out and say, look,
you can't even get a bracket right now because you can't even do that. So even those, I'm gonna keep it. That's amazing. And somebody showed me that they had them even in the beginning of their ticket to go to the Elite Eight because I ain't never even fuck with St. Peter's.
Listen, and it's crazy
and I love it.
I'm with it. I love an underdog. I love the underdog. But like I said before, Sha, I'm a UNC fan, so this is kind of hurting me right now.
Now I'm gonna ask you this, and let's be honest.
Here we go. I knew it.
Is UNC do you really believe they can beat North Carolina? I mean, listen. I want your answer. Don't bet your UNC answer. I want to hear a basketball. I'm gonna call you there. A basketball.
Guru's answer.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna tell you my answer. I don't think they can beat them. Because I think the run is deteriorating, but I want to bet. I do want to bet with them tomorrow.
Here's my thing.
But they got to be a bet by itself. I can't put it on.
Here's my thing. I've seen the way St. Peter's has played defense on big fellas. They took out Kentucky's big fella, and they took out Purdue's big fella.
Yes, they did.
Now, if UNC is smart, they have watched the tapes of what they're going to do. If UNC is smart, they are not going to try and go at them because that pressure from them on defense is serious. Now, the only way North Carolina can win and survive is they have to get the ball into Baycott, and he has to go to work right away.
He has to go ape shit.
And
offense-wise and defense-wise, King.
And Manic has to have a good game, the white boy.
And the point guard has to be on top of it.
And Love has to do what he did in the second half yesterday.
But let's be clear, though, too. St. Peter's plays 10 people.
And
that's a big difference.
It is. But him playing 10 people is his type of game. Hubert Davis playing his 7 to 8 is his type of game.
Yeah.
And you throw those fresh legs at those tired legs, of course it's gonna wear them down. But you got to know how to do it. Like, say if North Carolina jumps on them early, you got to know now you can't do that 5 sub. You have to sub to match their energy.
Right. Okay.
So you have to
manage
coming
from a coach's perspective.
And you have to manage the game differently. Like the 5-on-5 worked against
Purdue.
Purdue.
How far down can they be? Because when they went to Purdue last night halftime, I think they was down
4. They was down 4
because my man had them for 7.5.
Right. So if you're St. Peter's, you cannot go down halftime more than 8 points.
Yeah, I was giving them 10.
If you go down more than 8 points to North Carolina in the first half,
I think you're cooked.
It's over. Because they're going to see they got blood on the table.
And they're going to see you for the first time with your head
down. Right. They're not going to have that energy that they normally have being close or being up. So now UNC is like, yo, we got them where we need to be. The only thing UNC would have to do in the second half
is keep pounding.
Is pounding them.
They got to keep. They got it. It's like a boxing, man. You got to keep. You got
to keep the pressure on. If not, it could get scary.
It could be the biggest upset of the fucking year. And honestly speaking, that we on that subject, I feel like UNC put in a little bit more work this time.
Nah, they did.
I feel like Kentucky, Kyler Perry was a little,
he was comfortable.
Let's do what we got to do and get out of here.
Yeah.
I feel like Purdue was like, okay, they beat, and this is my opinion, and I'm a basketball fanatic. Mm-hmm. I feel like Purdue was like, yo, they beat Kentucky because Kentucky wasn't focused, but we different. We not Kentucky.
They thought they
not
was.
Kentucky.
They thought they was.
We were the number one seed. We were the number one team at the nation in one time.
They thought they was different.
And now you're home watching these kids about to play UNC.
And the dude in the interview after the game was like, yo, they're a good team. I don't know why we underestimated them. They made it to the Sweet 16 for a reason.
They're starving.
And they got nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose.
They ain't nothing. They really, honestly, they won on the low. On the low, homeboy said I only expected to get 2 games and get out of here.
Yeah.
And that's a coach.
That's a coach saying
being on, y'all. Just give me 2. Give me that experience.
Real, what up, bro?
You know what I'm saying? Yo, he got him in the Elite 8, champ.
Yeah, that's crazy.
On primetime TV.
A number 15 seed has never reached the Elite 8, yo. He made history twice. Twice, bro. Twice.
And the checks is coming into that school right now.
Look,
the little endorsement. Oh, the white kid got a.
Let me tell you,
he got a little wing cup thing he was doing.
Watch how many boosters come out of the
Oh
woodworks
my
for
God!
St.
I was about to say that. You know what I mean? So this is why I say to you, okay, flip this then. Let's deal with a little bit of reality. You get knocked off by NC. I believe personally that was going to bring more recruits to St. Peter's.
Absolutely.
Like you just said, it's definitely bringing more. It's bringing more boosters. I mean, boosters.
There's
boosters is coming out the woodworks right now. That wasn't even hated black folks. That's how many white boosters is coming out of that Hoboken, Weehawken area.
And I'm gonna bring it back to you for you a minute. Remember that movie Blue Chips?
Yes.
That shit is real.
Of course.
That shit is real. Now that you're winning, they're gonna be like, all right. No
and they
offense.
coming to the coach first.
Shy, let me tell you, Shy, they're gonna go to Shy and be like, yo, Shy, what do you need?
Exactly. What can we do?
If Shy stays at St. Peter's, they're gonna have a stadium next year. If Shy stays at St. Peter's, they're gonna have banners for these kids, for just this team.
If he stays at St. Peter, the locker room changes.
They're gonna state of the art.
And it might be changing right now, truthfully.
They get state of the art.
That might have been the first. You know what? We got, like, the game. Yo, people don't understand, and you know this. Them just making the Elite 8 is bringing in, yo, let's get the new locker room. It's bringing in the new boosters.
Yep.
It's boosting, yo, we got to make sure he's straight. What you need. What your
Everything.
family need.
Everything.
Now you win that national championship, Jesus Christ.
It's-
they might make a statue out of him.
If he wins the national
He's
championship,
going to have a statue in front of St. Peter's.
there's gonna be forget St. Peter's. There's gonna be a statue in Jersey City
Facts.
for him.
Of him.
Everywhere he goes.
He is the official
He's gonna
Jesus.
be the
He's the
Jersey
Jesus
City-
Christ.
Right. He's gonna be JC of JC.
Yeah, and he's also what Giannis is to Milwaukee.
Absolutely. Let's speak. I'm glad. You are a fucking mind reader. I'm glad you brought that up. So you know the NBA playoffs is coming.
Let's talk about it.
I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, and I'm not a Brooklyn Nets fan from Brooklyn. I'm a Jersey Nets fan from Brendan Byrne Arena, and I'm showing my age once again.
The Meadowlands.
The Meadowlands.
Before American Dream. And,
Right. Before
FanDuel.
y'all had that and all that.
And before FanDuel was even in the building.
Right.
The nigga said Brendan Byrne. Say that again.
Brendan Byrne Arena, where if you went to a Nets game and you was in section 280, at halftime you was in section 20. That's how the Brendan Byrne Arena
And you
was.
can get free food.
Absolutely. But we talking NBA playoffs now, right? Coming up in a couple of weeks. And everybody's...
Before you start, who was your favorite Net, man? Who was your favorite New Jersey Net? Your top 3. I ain't going to say your top 3.
My top 3
Before
Nets,
we get into the Brooklyn Nets, let me hear about the top 3
Well,
Nets.
my top one, of course, Drazen. Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Drazen.
Greatest.
K.A. Shout out to Kenny Anderson.
Right. Let's not disrespect the guard from Georgia Tech.
And I got to give it to him.
New York's own.
I got to give it to him, of course, VC. Vince Carter changed the game when he came to the Nets.
So you're not going to go with cocaine Derek Coleman?
I love Derek Coleman. He was a left-handed killer.
He was a cocaine cowboy, but that's another story. He was the cocaine cow. Now we giving. I'm telling my age. Derek Coleman is the cocaine cowboy.
Yo, that's why he didn't make my top 3.
They gave him $100 million though.
They did. To be quiet.
They treated him like LT.
Yeah.
Cause if y'all really know, and I'm gonna take y'all back and show y'all my age too. LTs, y'all don't even know about that. The sports bar. That was crack cocaine central.
Right. If you walked in there, you got high, and you didn't even smoke crack. You didn't even smoke crack.
It was a corner in the crack corner. It was a cocaine corner. It was joints. It was weed. And LT was getting high in the Meadowlands Stadium before games. And that's what Derek Coleman was to the New Jersey Nets. He was the when he left, we already knew he was getting high in Philly. But when he got to New York,
it was a wrap.
Yeah, come on. You might have bumped into him on 178th, man. coming out this location.
But yeah,
man.
my top 3 Nets is definitely Drazen, K.A., and Vince.
So where does Starberry stand in that? Because he definitely played it. Yo,
he played in the Nets, but I didn't like Starberry until he was on the Knicks.
To me, when he got to the Knicks, you know what? I take that back. He wasn't a washed up Knick.
Nah, he wasn't.
He wasn't. He
was
was an ignorant motherfucker when he got to New
right.
York because he knew the bags was coming even bigger and better.
Right.
Shout out to Starberry, yo. You still a legend. I'm not going to take nothing from you.
Yo, you got
King.
a statue in China.
Right, King. We
Like,
salute you for that.
I can't even say that, yo.
Right. Feel free to hit the line if you want to come on the pod. And your documentary was retarded.
Yes, it was. Yes,
He earned that.
Yes, it
so
was.
I'm not going to front on his highs and lows.
So wait, he's been interviewing me. I gotta ask Shy a question. Shy, I'm putting you on the spot right now.
Man.
I'm putting you on the spot right now. And my famous one gotta go voice. You ready, Shy?
Let's go.
All in their prime. Who you getting rid of? Stevie Franchise, AI, J Kidd, or Starberry? Who you getting rid of, bro?
I just shouted this. Yo, I got to keep it a buck. I love you, Steph, but I got to let you go.
Wow, that's tough. That is tough. That hurts.
I love Steph. I love everything that Steph was, but to me, I'm gonna keep it real. He can never get past what AI did. And I feel like that was his biggest. That was his nemesis on the low.
Absolutely.
I feel like Steph. His game. You said in their prime. You named. Let's go down the list again. You named AI.
Mm-hmm. Franchise. J Kidd. And Marbury.
Yo, I've been fucking with Jason Kidd since he was at California. We had blonde hair.
You really showing your age?
I'm showing my age. When he was a California Bear, that was my idol. I had the jersey. I had a Jason Kidd jersey before I had a Michigan jersey.
Number 5.
And their colors was blue and gold. AI, Bubble Chuck. The first time I saw him in that Hoyas uniform with them Jordans on, and he played against Ray Allen, I said, this nigga is Jesus Christ, man. He was disrespectful in that big.
And he didn't care. And John Thompson let him go. Like,
he knew that.
He was like, yo, do
he
what you do.
couldn't control him, it wouldn't have worked.
He said, do what you do. I got you. And I was just sitting there like, damn. When he dunked, I knew he was special when he dunked on Marcus Camby when they played UMass versus Georgetown. And he caught the oop and just right on Marcus's neck. And I said, yo, that was crazy.
That was a game changer. For me, I knew when AI, and I'm going to say this with all due respect, I love you, A, you one of the greatest. And I hate to use this word, but when I knew that he was an official nigga is when that motherfucker told Ray Allen, fuck you.
Yep.
On national television.
I remember that.
When they showed his mouth. Yep. And he pointed and said, fuck you. When he did that shit and points, I said, yo, this nigga is our hero.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see no shit like that in college, especially not at Georgetown.
Nah, not at all.
Shout out to the legends that came out of Georgetown and John Thompson and what he did there. But when he told Ray Allen that shit, fuck you,
that was it.
I said, yo, he's our nigga.
Yes, he was.
It's sad, but I was like, I want to be him.
Yep. Yo, it was crazy because back then, like you said, everybody wanted to be like Mike. Nah, niggas wanted to be AI.
And AI didn't want to be like Mike.
Right. And because we wanted to be the thug AI. We wanted to be like Mike playing wise, but like street wise, we wanted to be AI.
We was happy we had an AI.
We did because he changed the game for everybody. When they said, yo, you got to come to the games. If you're not playing, you got to come to the games dressed up. AI was like, yeah, all right. This nigga AI came the same way as he wanted to. Came in jeans and a t-shirt and said, I'm not changing for y'all.
He's the reason of the dress code.
Right. That was the reason niggas had to start wearing suits and sweaters on the sideline because of AI. Because this guy wanted to come to the game in a fucking long t-shirt and baggy jeans and
braids and
tats
and a bunch of stupid ass platinum jewelry.
And he didn't want to conform. And who could forget? Y'all getting mad at me for practice? We're talking about practice.
Come on, man. That was the greatest interview of all time. Shout out to Bubble Chuck. Yeah, I said Bubble Chuck. And no, I don't know him like that, but that just...
Yo, he said practice. We're talking about practice. Like, I was just sitting there like, yo, this nigga AI is a different beast, yo.
He was it, man, for us, man. I mean, you said they prime, so I gotta go. I had to get rid of Star. As far as a point guard. Now, big men, I don't know.
I got you. You ready?
I don't know about the big men.
Here you go.
Because I want to hear this one.
You ready?
I'm ready for the big boys.
And I'm not even going to put all of them in order. So, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem, D-Rob.
D who?
David Robinson.
Ooh, okay.
So,
the Admiral.
Ewing, Hakeem, Kareem. Who you getting rid of?
Yo, you going to kill me for this, dog.
You going to get killed on your podcast for this one, bro. Who you getting rid of, yo? All four greats. Who you getting rid of?
In they prime?
In they prime. I stumped him, y'all. I stumped him.
Yo, and then
I stumped him.
See, you fucking the game up. This is supposed to be my podcast.
I had to flip it on him. I had to flip it on him today.
I can't answer that because I want to say David Robinson, and hear me out, my people. But I can't listen. I can't say David because David had a smooth and efficient game. Just because he wasn't motherfucking gliding and flying and acting like a monkey, David Robinson is fucking great. Patrick Ewing, I've been fucking with Pat since Georgetown when he had that nappy ass with the part on the side of his head. I loved him. Like when they was I loved him. And Lou Alcindor, I mean, he's a GOAT. He's the god. I didn't get a chance to see him, but I know what he did. I watched his stories. And then
Hakeem,
the Dreams footwork was like the tap dance kid, man. Like, he shitted on Pat Ewing in them finals.
He really did. And he shitted on Shaq too. Let's not forget that.
He taught Shaq. He put Shaq in his place, and we know Shaq is great, but I can't say, man.
Yeah,
I can't answer that. If you'd throw maybe another one, two more, I can't even because you can't.
You can't. But that's the thing. Now, Shy, I'm gonna tell you something. That's the shit I'll be doing on my page. Once again, follow me on Andre Thomas on Facebook. One gotta go all day. But that's what I do every day.
You gotta do that on Instagram too, man.
That's what I gotta start doing.
You gotta start doing it. I don't have Facebook, and we're working on the Roundtable Podcast Facebook right now. Please forgive me.
But we definitely do that, and yeah, I do it all. I do two a day. I do two convos. I do a morning one to get your blood going, then I do an afternoon to ride out.
All right, well, I'm gonna hit you with one right now.
Go ahead, I'm ready. I gotta show y'all the back of my shirt. It says I'm the host. And I never answer, but I'm on your show, so
right.
I'm gonna
get
it.
Yo, shout out. This is something I want to do too to my clothing designers that came up. I gotta get me a sweatshirt that says the host.
Yo, Shot, I got you on the next time I come up. I got you on the show.
Oh, just call me, and I'll pick that up.
I got you on the shirt.
Who had the best college career?
Go ahead. Who you got?
Christian Laettner.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Webber.
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson.
Mm-hmm.
Or Magic Johnson.
We talking college career?
I say who had the best college career?
Or you want me to pick one guy to go?
Nah, who had the best college career in your opinion?
In my opinion, if you putting those four out, and this is hurting my heart to say because I never thought I'd say a fucking Duke player, but Christian Laettner, yo.
Okay. And you know why I said that? For a reason, because I've had this debate with a lot of people. And I'm not a fucking Christian Laettner fan.
Me neither.
But that boy had the greatest college career.
Absolutely.
In college basketball.
Absolutely.
History. In my opinion, in my eyes.
He hit big shots. He was the original big white boy that you needed on your team to make your team work.
But he wasn't scared of us.
And that's another thing.
He didn't
disrespect.
He didn't respect them Michigan boys either.
No, he didn't. The thing about it was he didn't give a fuck about playing against us. He was like, yo, I don't care who I'm playing against. I'm going to bust y'all ass. I saw him bust Jamal Mashburn's ass.
Of course.
I saw him bust Jamal Mashburn's ass. Like, and I was sitting there
he bust Chris Webber's ass.
And I was sitting there in amazement like, y'all just going to let this white boy
And
do
he
this?
bust Larry Johnson ass when they killed UNLV. Yeah. So he's played against some. That's why I said that to you.
And the crazy part is people got mad when he made the original Dream Team. You couldn't be mad at him because he earned the respect to be there. And that's why I said, yo, when I sat back and thought about it as a basketball person,
Thank you.
I said, yo, he deserved to be there.
He's the greatest. He had the greatest college career,
Yeah, he
champ.
did. 4 years.
4 years of dominancy.
4 years.
And he was on top all 4. And he beat a lot of people like, oh, you played watered down schools. He played
Kentucky's. He played the Michigans.
The UNLVs. He went through the teams, and they won.
And they had
national championships.
They had no answers for him. He won 3 out of 4 national championships.
And he had the biggest bust in NBA.
NBA.
He was the biggest bust.
And
let's be clear, he's the biggest bust.
And that's the
coming out of
crazy
college.
part, because it was to the point where, like, sometimes I don't understand how you're so great in college and this is prepping you to get you to the next level, and you get to the next level and just fizz out. Like, the only Duke player who survived.
He had a few Dukies, and I ain't a Duke fan. Sorry.
Me neither. The only Duke player, Grant. If he wouldn't have got injured, he would have still been rocking.
Shit, Lou Hurley.
Bobby Hurley would have been rocking.
Jason Williams if he didn't get hurt.
Corey Maggette, he was all right.
But he was a monkey. He left. He's the first to leave.
Elton Brand,
who's
now the owner of the Sixers or president of the Sixers.
Right. We got a few, man.
Jason Tatum is the one right now.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum is that dude.
I forgot.
And
it's not front on. Come on, your man Kyrie.
That's a given. We don't even have to talk about it.
But you have to. You know why? Because Kyrie played 4 games and was still the number 1 pick in the NBA.
That was crazy.
You played 4 college games for Mike Krzyzewski and was the number 1 pick
That's
in the
crazy.
NBA draft and won a chip.
You know
with the greatest player in the building. This guy, they call him King James.
You know what? I'm not going to get into that debate with you because
we can't.
Listen,
I'm MJ to the wheels with fall.
Thank you. That's all I needed to know.
What are you talking about?
That's all I need to know, because everybody had. Let's end this debate like this. Everybody always says it's LeBron, it's Kobe, it's Jordan.
Who says that?
The masses. And I'm gonna be
fuck the masses. Excuse my language for my peoples. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
You cannot put MJ. If he ain't number 1, don't talk about him.
I'm not even an MJ fan. I'm a respect fan. I'm a basketball fan. And anybody who says MJ is not the greatest is just delusional. Mike changed the game in every aspect. Mike changed the game to where you couldn't hand check no more. Mike changed the game to where your physicality had to be to a minimum, because it was so bad y'all was trying to stop this man that y'all was trying to fuck him up.
In his career.
So, and the way Michael went at the greatest players in that era, Mike kept people from getting rings.
Please say that again.
Mike kept Barkley from getting rings. Mike is the Knick
killer.
Mike kept the Knicks from getting rings. Mike kept his best friend Gary Payton from getting a ring.
Stockton and Malone
didn't get a ring because of Mike. Like, stop doing that. LeBron let the Dallas Mavericks with Dirk get a ring.
With 2 Hall of Famers.
LeBron let people eliminate him. Yes, he made it to the finals 10 times. How many rings does he have to show for it? Mike went 6 for 6.
And then they debate, oh, well, that's all we got. How that's all we got when Mike did it all? Like,
he went 6 for 6. There's nothing you can say that's going to change
and never went to a game 7.
I swear that was the next thing I was going to say. They asked Mike, yo, Mike, how do you feel about the pressures of a game 7? Mike, you know what Mike said? He said, what's that? He said, what's that? He said, what's a game 7? I've never heard of that. You know why? It never made it to a game 7. His Bulls never made it to a game 7.
No. And he only got eliminated from the playoffs once. When he won the 4-5.
Once.
And then he came back.
And then the crazy part is, he said, yo.
And he beat Magic Johnson for a ring. And a lot of people are going to debate and say Magic was old and done. I don't give a rat's ass because
you still had the Lakers.
And you still was the top commodity, and you still were Magic Johnson.
You still had the Lakers. You still had Worthy. You still had Magic. And
the only person you didn't really have is Kareem.
You had a bench warming Kareem. You had Michael Thompson starting for you. But still, you was the Lakers.
And they had the Jerry Curl kid from North Carolina, Perkins.
Right. And they had AC Green, the Virgin. Like,
right.
Stop it. Like,
but he was a defensive juggernaut. Let's not front.
He was.
And they had Byron Scott. And honestly, Mike ended also if Mike, when Mike left, Clyde Drexler was able to get a ring too.
With Houston.
Right, and with Portland.
Yeah.
No, he ended Portland's career.
No, Yeah, he ended Portland's
He
career.
ended- none
He
of them
broke
from
them
Portland.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
He broke
That's
them
how
up.
Clyde wound up going to Houston because of Mike.
Yeah, he said, "Yo, you know what? I'm not doing this." Yo, he literally took off. Let's look at it like this. How many legends has Michael eliminated? Barkley, Ewing, Clyde,
About the top 20
D-Rob,
in his era. About the top.
Dan Marley,
about the top 20 NBA players in his career.
Peyton, Kemp. He kept everybody from getting a ring.
I forgot about he beat the Sonics in the playoffs too. With
He
Kemp
beat
and homeboy.
Malone, Stockton, Hornacek, Brian Russell. All of them did not get a ring because of Jordan. One man.
That black guy from North Carolina, really Brooklyn.
Right. He was from Brooklyn. Like, one dude kept 20 people from getting a ring.
And that's something that I try to tell the younger generation. Yeah, y'all give LeBron his stats is there.
I give it to him.
I give you the stats. And like Hov said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
don't.
Your stats is there. Salute you, King James.
Right.
You're
Respect.
the athlete, billionaire. You're doing great things. But my man, let's not compare this man with that kid.
Nah, stop.
That
Stop.
y'all who has the biggest selling sneakers that my
Ever.
kids, that their kids, and our grandkids, and the other kids after those kids are gonna still be purchasing.
And the crazy part is you bring that up. I don't even like comparing LeBron to Kobe. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. But I don't like comparing LeBron to Kobe.
I don't like that either because I feel
Because-
like Kobe is number 2 to Mike.
Absolutely.
I feel like he's the prototype of Mike.
And the thing about it is, the difference between Jordan, Kobe versus LeBron, Jordan and Kobe had a killer mentality.
And he never took off.
Never. And it was to the point where if Jordan knew Pippen or Harper or somebody was off, Jordan would be like, yo, I got this. But play your role right now. That's the same thing Kobe did when he won that chip with Lamar and Gasol. He said, all right, y'all don't want to play? Follow my lead.
And he knew he needed that chip.
And the
He
same
knew
thing,
he needed though. He knew he needed those rings without Shaq.
right. And that's another thing. When Shaq was there, he said, yo, Shaq, either you with me or you're against me. And he said, Kobe told him, he said, yo, Shaq was like, yo, Kobe, there's no I in team. You know what Kobe's response was? But yeah, there's a me in that motherfucker. And after that, you what are you gonna say to that? What are you gonna say to that? You as Shaq, you just gotta be like,
I'm gonna
right?
keep it real. With Kobe is Mike's second coming.
Yeah, that was the closest thing to Mike, and I used to hate it back in the days when.
But I do think, not to cut you off, I do think that drove LeBron though. Mm-hmm. That gave Bron that extra.
Yeah,
Because he had to catch them on some real shit.
but the thing about it is, there's no catching them.
You can't.
You
Especially
could
right
pass.
now, his
You could
career
pass
is-
them in scoring. You could pass them in scoring and do all that. You'll never get 5 or 6 rings like they will. You're not getting another ring.
First of all, you hop for multiple teams to get these rings, and I'm sorry.
We never did
y'all
that.
gonna say, "Oh, what team? He's the only player." Yeah, but Mike and Kobe stayed with one franchise and one chips.
And that's another reason he will never be on their level.
So he don't sit at the table with them. He sits at the kids' table. I
might-
want
he might-
to ask you that because I've always asked.
Now
that.
he
Does he sit at that table or does he sit at the round table with those? Because a lot of those people that sitting at that table, the Magics, the Pippins, the Larry Birds, the Pistons, they all gonna sit there and say, "Yo, my man, we did it with one team."
and that's gonna always be his hurt. And as much as I like having KD in Brooklyn, I love KD. That's gonna be his hurt too. Because he was on Oklahoma, and one game away from the NBA Finals,
That's always gonna be his stain.
and then you left to go to the team that beat you,
that's the stain.
and
for the
to
rest
win
of
a
his
chip,
life.
to win a chip there.
Is his chips valid? Be honest, Dre. No, in my opinion. And I'm talking from
they're
my
not
opinion.
valid. They're not valid.
They're
because-
valid with the ring, but they're not valid to us ball fanatics.
They're not valid
Because you went to a team that was established and already winning chips.
They was winning chips without you.
You were the turbo boost to the M. Yo, honestly, he's the M3 to the BM.
Right.
You might have had the 2 exhausts, but now you went and got the M3 package.
Absolutely. And now you just put the extra battery in your back to, like, all right, when that team was established, when it was Curry, Clay, Draymond, and now KD. You're right. There was nobody who could stop them. That team was untouchable. You couldn't double team nobody. If you double team somebody,
You couldn't do anything. You just had to play defense.
you just had to pray they had an off night.
Yeah, keyword they, because if one fall, the other was a crutch, so it didn't matter.
It was the Splash Brothers with their big cousin who came over to play. That's all that was.
I'm gonna ask you this, and you're a Brooklyn fan, and that's your team. Can Brooklyn get a chip? And before I'm gonna say this to you before we close. Your man, I love you, Kyrie, and the family, but you was a sucker for not getting vaccinated. And I say that because I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you talk. You brought a bunch of fellas with you over to win a title, and you backed out on them, and didn't even say, you know what, I got Harden here, I got KD here, and you just was like, yo, I'm gonna do my own thing. And to me, I think that was some sucker shit towards the people that you brought there.
All right, and
I'm gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna close out on.
I'm gonna close out on this. I respect Kyrie.
Me too, to the fullest.
I respect him to the fullest.
Top 5 point guards in my book.
Absolutely. And I was pissed when he was left off the 75 list this year.
Because he did the monkey shit.
Right. I get it. Was I upset that he didn't get vaccinated? Absolutely. From a personal standpoint, I understand.
I get it.
I understand his beliefs.
Me too.
I understand.
I respect
But
it.
like you said, you made a commitment to having these guys come with you.
Thank you.
To accomplish a goal. Now that goal is in jeopardy. It's not a definite that the Brooklyn Nets are going to win this year.
And do you believe that's the reason why Harden left?
I believe the reason Harden left because Harden needs to be the center of attention.
But he also needs that jewelry.
He does.
And I felt like when Kyrie left, he felt like his chances were slim.
Right. And I get it. But at the same time, what I feel about Harden is when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
We know that with him.
And
we
quit
that a million times.
Right.
Man.
And I don't like that about him. I respect him as a player. He's a great player. Top 75, whatever. But I don't like the fact that he quits. But back to Kyrie, yes, I agree with you. That was some bullshit. But also, like we said, we respect him for his decision. But that's like you saying, yo, Dre, come play with me on my team, but I'm going to be out for a few months because I didn't follow protocol.
Personal reason, because that's some personal reason shit.
And I'm gonna have a talk with you, brother to brother. I'm going to lay it out. Like, yo, my nigga, I came here for you. So you backing out on me, how can I ever fuck with you again like that? Like, how can I say, you know what? All right, Kyrie's a stand-up dude. Now, you got a lot of building back to do.
And a lot of trust to gain back. Because
Right.
that franchise by itself.
They put a lot of investment into that. But now, I think, to the question at hand, can Brooklyn win it this year? With everyone healthy, not including Ben Simmons, because we don't know what mental he's going through. Without Ben Simmons, we could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Depending on who we play, will determine our fate. If we play the Miami Heat right now, we'll beat them.
Y'all playing them tonight.
We'll beat them tonight because they're on the decline.
I got him on my ticket. I got Kyrie for his points. Anybody y'all listen, FanDuel, I got Kyrie for assists tonight.
Yeah.
It's a great bet. Remember I told
Kyrie's
you
going
that.
off tonight.
5
'Cause
assists.
He'll get that. Then on top of that, now I'm looking at the structure of that team.
Can they beat the Bucks, man? Before we get the fuck out of here, let's stop talking and see we playing and turn this to a 3 out of 6.
All right.
I don't think they got enough weapons to beat. You know what?
No.
I think it's gonna go Game 7
I think that is going to go
because
game
I
7.
feel like it's equal a little bit. Kyrie, homeboy,
Real quick, I'll let you do the match. I'll do the matchup with you. Kyrie versus Drew Holiday.
great matchup. And Drew Holiday's not backing down.
It's not, but I still give the edge to Kyrie.
Of course.
Chris Middleton versus Curry. Middleton.
I think that's an up and down because you don't know which one gonna show up that night. Chris Middleton is up and down like the Dow, man. Come on.
KD versus
and Giannis.
And Giannis. They
gonna
cancel
do
each other out.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Now you move down. Bruce Brown versus PJ Tucker. No, PJ Tucker's in Miami now.
Grayson Allen.
Bruce Brown, by far.
Now we got
Brook
OG.
Lopez.
No, but they got Bobby Portis.
No, but Brook Lopez is back though.
Yeah, but he.
All right, so now,
I feel like
okay, so
I think for the playoffs They're leveling up, but I'm gonna go. Bobby's been more of a factor for the year.
All right, so now we got Drummond there, who's been averaging a double-double since he's been there.
Right.
Bobby Portis can't stick Andre Drummond if he's on.
But Bobby Portis don't play that middle. He likes to shoot the trifectas.
So now, it's kind of a balanced act. Now here's the key part for you,
The
Shaq.
bench.
And our bench right now with Patty Mills,
Loaded.
Thomas,
Kid from LSU.
Claxton,
the other little redhead kid with the little hair.
We still got Aldridge coming off the bench.
Right, and you still got Blake.
And Blake.
Fake
so
Blake.
Our bench is going to outplay their bench, which is going to give us the advantage.
Okay.
So I got Brooklyn in 7 if we play Miami. I mean, if we play Milwaukee.
Facts. Yo, this conversation, man, was one of... I enjoyed this. I was tired.
I'm glad you had me, bro.
But yo, my man, I appreciate you. I want to give you your flowers, man.
Thank you,
I love you,
Appreciate
bro.
it, bro. I love you,
thank
too.
you so much, man. I'm going to tell the folks right now, man, like, you definitely kept me inspired on that skating shit, bro. Like, you were one of the individuals I had. Yo, Dre here, my man.
Yep.
Thank you.
Let me just, real quick, I want to give a shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. Shout out to my wife, my family, all my skaters out there. It's too many of y'all to name. I love y'all all my skate fam. My brothers in the comedy world, Derek, Billy. You know, y'all keep me going. My G&A family. If anybody I forgot, I apologize.
Let them know that when your next show is, too, man.
Oh, my next show, April 1st, April Fool's Day, Friday, Englewood, the Elks. It's going down. Showtime is at 8. Doors open at 7. $20, you get food. It's going to be fun. I'm going to be there with my boy Bill the Billionaire, my homeboy William, and Monique Latisse from Patterson. It's going down April 1st. Make sure y'all there.
Where can the people find you at on your social media and your Facebook?
Yo, follow me on Facebook, Andre Thomas. You'll see me. I'm there. And you can follow me on IG, comedy_coach33. Follow me. I'm going to start doing the one guy that goes on Instagram and Facebook so you can follow both. So you'll see me all over now because my man Shaw making me do my Instagram thing.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to my guy, man, coming down, sitting at the round table. You know what it is. Yo, this week coming up, March 30th, we doing it live at Boulevard Bistro, man. I got my guy, Walt. Live interview. I need all of my past and present guests. Come on out, mingle. We got the We Out Travel Group is going to be in the building. You can please mingle with them. Get on these trips, man. The mayor's going to be in the building bringing his team. We come together, the Boulevard Bistro in Harlem on 116th Street. Google it. I don't know the address off the top of my head. Let's get some great food. Shout out to Chef Los for looking out. Shout out to Walt. Yo, shout out, man, to GS Radio for the support and the love, man. We got the television network. You know what it is. I'm the voice of the culture, man. And, yo, shout out to We Out Travel. You know what it is. Get locked in. We got Punta Cana coming up. You don't want to miss it. And come on down with us, man, on March 3rd. I know it's a Wednesday, but get your babysitters, ladies. Fellas, come on out. Mingle. Let's kick it. Let's poly. I'm out of here. March Madness. Let's get there.
Peace,
St.
y'all.
Penis.